Hello everyone and welcome back to the Football Zone. Today's video is the top 10 strikers of our era.
Yeah.
And we will stress that throughout this video. This is our era, what we've grew up watching. So
the players that we can comment on and have a definitive opinion on.
A genuine opinion.
We don't have the likes of Shearer and Raul and players like that.
Pele, Eusebio.
Yeah.
That's not our era. We weren't even born then.
Yeah.
Well,
so
we were born when Alan Shearer was playing, but like I was 5 when he retired.
It's 21st century and gone, really.
Mm-hmm. So start off from the bottom,
should
number
we go 10 through?
Yeah.
At 10 we have Robin van Persie.
So what is his career stats? What is Robin van Persie's career stats?
Well, Robin van Persie, everyone knows, obviously he went to Man United, left Arsenal, went to Man United and won them the title. And that was, like, have you seen former players speak about him and in that season, saying that literally Alex Ferguson told him just to pass him the ball.
Yeah.
He'll score the goals, he'll win us the title.
Which is quite interesting. There's another player that came into another Manchester United side, and I'm guessing that manager is saying the same thing. Just pass that striker and he'll score your goals.
Yeah, so he played a total of 595 games, scored 274 goals and got 102 assists in that time. His Premier League stat, well actually I'm going to go Arsenal stats because these are really good, because at Arsenal he only won, what was it, 3 FA Cups?
Something
like that. He won a few cups anyway. Played 278 games at Arsenal and scored 132 goals and got 58 assists, which isn't too bad at all. And then at Man U, 105 games and 58 goals, 21 assists.
I mean, realistically, what you need from your striker.
Like I say, he was bought in for the sole purpose of winning them the league, and that's what he did. But at the end, the reason why we've got him at 10, because we know how incredible of a footballer he was.
His finishing was so clinical.
And the goals that he scored, unbelievable. Like, whenever I mention Van Persie, the goal where the ball drops behind over his shoulder, first time volley outside the box. Like that
the
goal always comes
to, as well.
Yeah,
but
goals
anyway,
always come to mind. But he's a 10 because
it's a package we're rating it as.
Yeah.
We're coming as, does he win your trophies? Does he score you an unbelievable amount of goals? Yes, he won you that one trophy that Manchester United brought him in for. Yes, he brought in the goals, but it's the lower down part of the list, realistically.
Yeah, right. Next
one, we've got Didier Drogba. He is a natural winner. He just won games. He was a leader. He scored, and he was a big game player. Like we saw at the Bayern Munich Chelsea Champions League final, he scored that pivotal header that took them to the penalties and they won on penalties.
Well, it was when he was signed for Chelsea. Abramovich said to Mourinho, any striker in the world, I'll buy him for you. He's just like, I want Drogba. He's just like, no, seriously, any striker in the world, I'll pay. He's just like, I want Drogba from Marseille.
So 688 games played in total in his career, 302 goals, 125 assists. Won 4 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, a Champions League, and I'm not too sure what those trophies are, but I'm going to guess they're Super Cups. They won 2 Super Cups. Good record at Chelsea, 381 games, 164 goals, 86 assists. But let's just be honest, the reason why he's on the list, and we've said it, he is a big game player. He's a striker that you want in a big game. He's not scared of a tackle, 115 yellow cards in his career. He's not scared of a tackle. He's 6'4", absolutely massive. He just was he was such a massive presence for Chelsea. Yeah, and that's why he's on 9 on our list. Like, realistically, there is obviously more clinical strikers than Drogba, but we're like we said before, it's a package. What do you get from this striker? And that's why I've got him on 9 on our list.
Yeah. Next up at 8 is Samuel Eto'o. Now, Eto'o played in a lot of teams in a lot of leagues, and he moved around a lot because
he liked the money at the end.
He liked the money at the end of the day.
But that's why I played for Angie Makakala. Whatever the hell that was.
Played in Qatar and Turkey and everywhere else. But Played 724 games in his career, scored 362 goals and got 117 assists. Now, when he was playing at Barcelona and La Liga, 280 games, 162 goals and 35 assists. He's won 3 Champions League trophies in his career, and one of them was at an Inter Milan side.
And that's really a reason why we've got him on the list. Is like a Drogba. He's not the same presence, but he's a striker that has got experience at winning trophies, and he scores important goals in important games.
But like
and he can lead from the front.
His abilities were just crazy. I mean, he's won. What did he win? 3 Champions Leagues. The one at Barcelona in 05-06, Barcelona 08-09, and then Inter Milan 9 and 10. He's won Italian Cups, La Ligas, Italian leagues. It's just endless list of trophies he's won. So, yeah, Eto'o is in at 8.
Number 7, we have got Ibrahimovic. Like we said, he comes as a total package. He's had a very long career. He's a leader. That elusive Champions League, that's not going to go on his record now, realistically.
Yeah, he's
getting
every season. The season after that, he's left a club, they'll win the Champions League or a European trophy.
So 815 games, 492 goals, and 202 assists. Clinical striker. His ability on the ball is unbelievable. That goal that he scored against England, that overhead kick from about 40 yards out, was unreal. Some of the goals that he scores, the power behind his shots, his heading ability, you just can't fault. His passing ability as well is incredible.
He is.
202 assists.
He is just a number 9. Like, he is a striker. He's down the centre of the pitch at all times.
If you want that, and that's probably one of the reasons why Manchester United signed him. They needed a player that's going to stay central, bring the ball down, pass it on, score goals, be in the box, be a presence, and they brought him in for that reason, and he done a good job, and they won the Europa League.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why he's number 7 on our list.
Next up in number 6 is a player who's still playing in this day and age and playing very well, is Robert Lewandowski.
Mainly the reason why he's on the list. He scores a lot of goals.
He does score a heck of a lot of goals, and like we've had a big debate on this list before we started.
45 minutes long making this list. We spent 45 minutes making this list.
Yeah, because we were trying to figure out players, and the way that we defined as a striker was, you know, it's the player that's furthest forward at all times. Like, obviously, people make these lists and you'll see like Messi in the list and stuff like that, and
Ronaldo, but like realistically,
not a striker.
We actually should mention this as well.
Yeah,
we probably should have mentioned this at the start.
Yeah,
Ronaldo's not on this list. He started as a winger.
Yeah,
he played most of his games as a, well, maybe it's not most of his games, but probably I'd say majority of his career he played as a winger. Manchester United played as a winger. A lot of the years at Real Madrid was a winger, and then he got transitioned into a striker because he couldn't keep up with the game anymore as a winger, so then transitioned to a striker.
But then when we were talking, it was when he got transitioned into a striker at Real Madrid, it was still Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale front three. So Ronaldo was still coming off the left, but the only thing that changed was, like I say, he was the furthest player forward. Yeah. Benzema was always dropping deeper, and that's why Benzema probably hasn't blossomed as much as he would have done until now. Exactly. Since those other big players had left, now he can be that focal point and furthest player forward, and that's why he's bagging as many goals as he is.
So, what's his stats?
Robert Lewandowski, 682 games, 518 goals.
Wow. What's his assists?
It's not him. He has 0 assists.
Really?
No, I just don't have them on here.
Alright.
I don't know why. But he just scores goals. He just literally it is what it is. I mean, Bundesliga last season, before he's moved to the Champions League to Barcelona, he shot 35 goals in 34 games.
Didn't he break the goal scoring record in Germany? The Gerhard Muller record of like 41 goals or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
The season before.
Yeah, and then Yeah, he scored 41 goals in 29 games the season before.
Jesus Christ! And he also has the record for quickest, 5 goals scored in like 9 minutes or something like that. And it was against Wolfsburg. He came on, scored 5 goals in 9 minutes, or 5 goals 11 minutes, something along those lines.
5 and 9.
Yeah, which was
that is it was
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, next on the list, we have got Sergio Aguero. Like we said, he is a package player. His ability on the ball was incredible. His technique is incredible.
His ability just to score 4 goals in a game just out of nowhere. Yeah. It was just crazy. Like, the amount of times he did that is just stupid. Yeah. But he would do it in the Champions League as well. Yeah.
So he's got 669 games in total, 381 goals and 118 assists. And as I'm looking on here, he just scores in every competition that he plays in.
Yeah.
And obviously being City's all-time goal scorer, up there in the Premier League, like high up on the list of all-time goal scorers.
Why is he or is he not the highest foreign goal scorer in Premier League history?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And then also, Harry Kane just overtook Aguero for most goals scored for a single team in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because Alan Shearer obviously played for Blackburn and Newcastle.
Does Harry Kane get a trophy for that then?
No, he doesn't.
No.
That's why it's not on our list. Anyway. So Aguero, incredible striker.
Yeah, like I say, we've made this list, but the list is just incredible. Like, you try and pick faults of why the player's in 5th, but to be 5th on this list is
good. What's next on the list, Lewis?
Next up, number 4 is Rooney.
Big Waz.
Big Wazza.
Changing the studs just to kill someone.
Yeah. Now, this one was a little bit difficult, and a little bit of debate on this is because in his last stages of his career, he was always dropping deeper, so he dropped back into the 10, then ended up dropping back into midfield just because of how good he was as a football player.
Exactly.
But when he was their striker, because Man U in that time when he was a striker always played as a 2, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it's like Rooney and Tedez and
he always did drop deeper, but at the same time, look at the amount of goals the man scored. Tell us how many he scored.
764 games, scored 313 goals and 171 assists.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is crazy.
In the Premier League as well, like the most competitive league in the world.
Yeah, and at the time when you would have the likes of John Terry and
some of the best centre-backs ever.
Yeah. I was just about to start listing Man U centre halves there as well.
I got to say, I was going to go Vidic, Ferdinand, but they were on the same team.
Obviously, he's only won 1 Champions League, but he's won 5 league titles, Europa League, FA Cup, League Cups, and all this sort of stuff.
The list keeps on going.
Yeah, he's just a big game player, but he was so consistent. He was a little bit of a Raj as well at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But in terms of a character for Manchester United, he was so influential.
He was the perfect fit for them, and it's like we've said in previous videos when we've discussed Man United, Alex Ferguson used to change up his team a lot. Well, every 3 years he would change up his team, but you would keep the same core. So you Edward van der Sar, Vidic and Ferdinand, Scholes, and Keane, yeah. And then Rooney.
I mean, they even moved Keane on.
Yeah, they did. And then everyone else just got shipped off after, because realistically they win everything in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Apart from Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So next on the list, a man that has 5 Champions Leagues is Karim Benzema. There's 2 players above him on this list. We had a long debate on this top 3 of why we think they're in this positions, but you've got to give it to this man. I mean, he's still performing at a high level. I mean, he's just got quite a big injury, I'm pretty sure. He's out for like for a month or 2.
But
he came off against Celtic the other night, looking a bit bad.
We had a long discussion, mate, in this list, and like I was thinking don't have him Benzema this high, and probably the only reason he got him this high is because the amount of Champions Leagues that he has won.
But it's 5.
Yeah.
5 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, but the reason why I think this is because a lot of the time throughout his career, he's always the reason why I said he's late blossoming now is because he's always had players, because he plays the Real Madrid Galacticos, there's always been players that have been better than him or ahead of him in the pecking order.
I mean, he was always in the shadow.
Pitch.
It's a bit like how Neymar moved to Barcelona and was in the shadow of Messi.
But then you make the case in reverse, that is Benzema's always been there.
Yeah, he's always been there.
He's always been there, because I mean, he joined when Raul was finishing.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be taking over
career and
realistically
stuff like that.
So anyway, 759 games he's played, 393 goals and 187 assists, and quite a clean record in terms of cards. 759 games, he's only been carded 16 times. For a player that's quite arrogant.
Yeah. Who got booted out of the France national side.
How can you boot a player like that out of the French national side?
It was something to do with Didier Deschamps and things like that. I don't know the full story behind
it. Up there is one of the most clinical strikers ever.
He's just...
and you get kicked out. But
since Ronaldo's disappeared off, Benzema just took that role and just made it as well. And so you can take this situation and change it a lot, but if Ronaldo wasn't at Real Madrid and he'd stayed at Man U and what have you, I think Benzema would have a hell of a lot more goals than he does. But next on the list, at number 2, we've got Thierry Henry.
What a player he is.
What player he was.
Well, yeah, sorry, was.
Now, this, obviously, we've said throughout this video, it is a striker. Now, Henry, one of a few players, like Samuel Eto'o, was...
David Villa, who we also mentioned
David
previously.
Villa, we did mention, came... I wouldn't say... What's the right word? I'm thinking of...
He became a victim of Lionel Messi playing so well in a central role.
Of Messi playing as a false 9. But... he was still the furthest man forward.
The majority of his career, though, he played as a 2 at Arsenal.
Yeah.
We've got he started his career off as a striker. For some reason, FIFA thought his career started off as a left winger. No, he started off as a striker.
Well, when he first came to Monaco, he kind of did break through potentially as a left winger.
But his game's majority was always...
Yeah.
He was always striker, and he played striker as a 2 at Arsenal. And then he moved to Barcelona. Yes, he played on the wing, but he always tried to get inside.
Yeah.
Even I mean, that's why he
was always furthest man forward for them.
Yeah.
So career stats: 792 games, 360 goals, and 177 assists. Premier League wise, when he was at Arsenal, 258 games, 175 goals, and 80 assists.
Jesus.
In the Prem, like. That is obscene stuff. I mean, what's that? You talk for a second whilst I work this out.
I mean, if I said to you, what position do you think Henry is? Immediately, you've got to say striker.
So, Premier League, you played 258 games and you got 255 goal involvement.
Right.
Like, that's like peak Premier League era. That is crazy. In La Liga, he played 80 games, 35 goals, and 20 assists as well. The man's take away his goal scoring abilities, because every time he came off the left hand flank and stuck it in the bottom corner, it was unbelievable. But his entire game of how good of a footballer he was,
his dribbling, his technique, how fast he was, everything about him was an all round incredible player.
Yeah. So TT Henry at number 2.
And number 1 on our list, and it's a player that not a lot of, people know him as a good striker, but I don't think anyone gives him anywhere near enough respect as he deserves. And it's Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
So
read the stat out, because
707 games in total in this entire career. 441 goals, 244 assists. As a striker,
he's got the second most assists in
ever
football history, only behind one man,
Lionel Messi. And you can't beat Messi at assist. You just can't.
But what people also don't think about, everyone's praising how good Lewandowski was last season, or the season before, and how many goals he scored, how good Benzema was. Suarez has outperformed them in majority of his seasons.
I'm pretty sure there was a stat, right? Quote me if I'm wrong, but in the era of Ronaldo and Messi, he scored more league goals. That's La Liga goals.
Yeah.
In a season, 5 times more. Like as in terms, he won that. I need to check that.
Luis Suarez is the only player in the Messi and Ronaldo era to win a Golden Boot. Like that's the levels that man was on. Like people always talk about like in England Rooney not living up the hype, but Rooney because he was English.
Sorry, it was one time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the only player to
beat them.
To win the Golden Boot whilst them. But like Rooney, because he was English, everyone said that he didn't live up to the hype. But Rooney was always compared to the levels of Messi and Ronaldo, which he should never have been.
Yeah,
the only player in this generation to come anywhere near their levels is Suarez.
And I agree.
Like his time at Liverpool, I'm pretty sure it was 92 goals he scored.
I'll confirm
in 100 and like 3.5 seasons, so like
133 games.
133 games, 92 goals scored.
Wait a second. Is it not 133 games, 82 goals scored, 47 assists?
Alright, okay, so 82, yeah.
In the Premier, so that was Liverpool. Yeah. In the Premier League, it was 110 games, 69 goals scored, 40 assists. In the Premier League, so that's 109. That's 109 goals and assists in 110 games.
That was in
the Premier League alone. That's just in the Premier League alone.
But that was in a Liverpool Premier League side. That was when he
Daniel
joined.
Sturridge, Coutinho, Gerrard.
But when Suarez joined, we were like 10th.
Yeah, you were awful.
And then all of a sudden, we challenged for the league.
Yeah.
Because of that man, he was signed in the same window as Andy Carroll.
Yeah.
But we won't mention that. So Suarez is our best striker of this era, but I've said it before. In my opinion, I think Suarez is the best striker of all time.
Right. Controversial statement there. Do you agree or do you not agree? That is our top 10 best strikers of all time. Thank you very much for watching. If you change the list, let us know in the comments down below. Please leave a like and subscribe. Our socials, the TikTok and Instagram, are in the description. And you got anything else to add?
No, we know there's quite a few strikers who've been around in this generation, but I think that is the best 10 there is, isn't it?
Of course. Thank you very much for watching.